Good morning everyone and welcome to my channel English Literature. Today we will talk about book burning. Okay. Today's topic is Ray Bradbury's novel Fahrenheit 451. And what is Fahrenheit 451? Fahrenheit 451 is the temperature in which a page in a paper gets burnt. It is science fiction setting in North America 21st century. Introduction. Okay, in this introduction I like to just talk about an excerpt here. I want you to meet, sorry for the disturbance, I want you to meet Jonathan Swift, the author of that evil political book Gulliver's Travel, and this other fellow is Charles Darwin, and this one is Schopenhauer, and this one is Einstein, and this one is here at my elbow is Mr. Albert Schweitzer, a very kind philosopher indeed. Here we all are: Montag, Aristophanes, Mahatma Gandhi, Gautam Buddha, Confucius, Thomas Love Peacock, Thomas Jefferson, Mr. Lincoln. We all are here, if you please. We are also Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. We are book burners too. We read the books and burn them, afraid they would be found. Always the chance of discovery. Better to keep it in the old heads and where no one can see it or suspect it. We are all bits and pieces of history, literature and international law. Baron Tom Paine. So I just give this excerpt because I feel this will tell you about the novel, the theme of the novel. Books are banned. In a dystopian society, books are banned and books are only meant for burning. And what these guys are doing? They are just reading the books and keeping the book's theme in their head, so no one can burn the head. They are reading and burning the books, but they are keeping the theme, the story, the plot, the ideologies in their head, and that's why everyone is a book. Not one person is reading all the books. One is Charles Darwin, one is Mahatma Gandhi, and I love this concept. How a person become a book. One is Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travel, and that's it. Okay, so Fahrenheit 451 is the extended version of Ray Bradbury's The Fireman. You have to keep it in mind. It is very, very important that there is a science fiction, galaxy science fiction. Okay, galaxy science fiction. In this galaxy science fiction, they included many fictions, and among them there was a book by Ray Bradbury, The Fireman. And Fahrenheit 451 actually is the extended version of that book, The Fireman. So you have to keep in your head, like they are keeping so many things. They are keeping a book, so you can keep this information. I know that. And among other writers, there are Robert A. Heinlein, The Puppet Masters, and Alfred Bester's The Demolished Man. So in the galaxy science fiction, there are three books. One is Ray Bradbury's The Fireman, and other is Robert A. Heinlein's The Puppet Master, and Alfred Bester's The Demolished Man. Now, Ray Bradbury. Who was Ray Bradbury? We just have an introduction. 1920 to 2012 was an American author whose work included a wide variety of styles and themes, from science fiction to horror and mystery. Some of his notable works are Fahrenheit 451, 1953, The Martian Chronicles, The Illustrated Man, Dandelion Wine, Green Shadows, White Whale, etc. Okay, actually I read the book in Kindle. And now we will have a look at the storyline. Montag. Montag is the protagonist here. And what is Montag? Is a fireman who does not douse the fire but who burns book. So Montag is a fireman, but not in the sense we understand a fireman who douse fire. Wherever there is fire, just go and douse the fire. But Montag is a fireman in the sense that he burns books. And no book, no idea, no free thinking. This is the ideology of this dystopian society. And You can find it in 1984 by George Orwell. There is similarity of thought. Montag is in the same shoe, the same profession that his father and grandfather follow without questioning or with a mute voice. Anyway, Montag is not happy. Montag is questioning, not outwardly, not to others, but Montag is questioning himself. Though it is hard to confess, he never confessed, but then he met his neighbor Clarisse Mccaller. Clarisse Mccaller is a girl 17 years old and crazy thoughts in her head. And she asked him, "Are you happy?" And that question, "Are you happy?" that question haunted Montag. Then she seemed to remember something and came back to look at him with his wonder and curiosity. "Are you happy?" she said. "Am I what?" he cried. "What is happiness? We are just ascribed to do some jobs and are doing that. So what is happiness? And what lies the question of being happy?" But she was gone, running in the moonlight. Her front door shut gently. Happy of all the nonsense. He stopped laughing. Anyway, he has to confront the truth. Happiness, being happy, is not nonsense. He was not happy, he was not happy. He said the words to himself. He recognized this as a true state of affairs. He wore his happiness like a mask, and the girl has read off across the lawn with the mask, and there was no way of going to knock on her door and ask for it back. Wow! What an expression. The girl has taken the strip of his mask, the mask he always wore of happiness. She always tried to look happy, happy, happy. But the girl has stripped off that mask, and there is no way that he can go back and knock at her door and ask for the mask. "Give me my mask back. I want to so happy." That is not possible. Once that mask is stripped away, you cannot regain it and paste it in your face. So Mildred, who is Mildred? Mildred is the wife of Montag. He dares to attempt suicide by taking sleeping pills, but does not want to face a situation. Mildred just want to escape. She believes in escapism. She believes in escapism. She again and again tries suicide, but never tries to face the situation where she is living and how to get rid of it. She never wants to rebel. She just run, always music, always media, always TV, just want to make herself absorbed in something to forget everything. She feels hungry after her poisoned blood is replaced. It hints at the empty, lifeless existence of her. She is not like Montag. And she did not help Montag. When Montag tries to get rid of that situation, she did not support Montag. But unfortunately, there are two deaths, and the deaths perturbs Montag a lot. What is the death? One is his wife's suicide attempt. It was not death, but death of an old woman by burning herself on the pyre of her hidden books. What happened? An old woman was just stocked many books, and when this fire brigade just came to know about her, they went there with Montag, and they just burned that old lady with those books. So this incident Montag witnessed in his eyes, and this disturbed him a lot. That day, the old lady said, I ready to die with these books, but I don't want to just give myself away from these books. They want to save the lady and burn the books. But the old woman said, "No, if you have to burn my books, then burn myself also, burn me with those books." And this tired Montag psychology a great deal. And Clarisse's death, that's teenage girl was died, and this also haunted Montag. Died in an accident. Whether the accident is framed or not, I don't know. So he wants an answer to his desperation. What? The answer? No water, fire. You even seen a burned house? It smolders for days. Well, this fire lasts me the rest of my life. God, I have been trying to put it out in my mind all night. I'm crazy about trying. But Montag cannot douse that fire in his head. And in the next, the book thief. Have you read Book Thief by Marcus Zusak? If you do not, just read this, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. And here the girl was just stealing half-burnt books, and Montag also started stealing books and reading them. He wants to know more. He wants to get the answer of his unhappiness, his problems. So you just read this, the storyline is here. I am not talking much about that because you can read, because I am providing you the whole storyline and the whole discussion. You can read from here. The renegade. So who is the renegade? And Montag. So Guy Montag will fail because his boss has come to know about his deviation from his mission. That Montag, who is meant for burning books, is reading books himself. He'll caught Montag, and so Montag has to flee. So Montag, and who helped Montag? In Faber, an aged English professor and his old friend. He helped Montag in escaping. And also the mechanical hounds. So what happened when Montag started getting away, running? They just sent mechanical hounds at the back of him to catch him. And how did the mechanical hounds get the renegade? By smelling the sweat. So Montag has to change the chemical, the smell, by doing some tricks, and thus he can get away. The Hollow Man. We all are the Hollow Man in a dystopian background. Fahrenheit 451. American novelist Ray Bradbury. A social catastrophe. A picture of an oppressive society that forces people to live in uncomplicated unhappiness or happiness without questioning. No question. The same thing is in George Orwell 1945. You can find it. Okay. Montag heard the voices talking, giving, weaving, re-weaving their hypnotic web. Just like the people are not thinking, the people are just doing everything like a mechanical way. It reminds me Eliot's Wasteland. We are the hollow man, we are the staffed man, leaning together, headpiece filled with straw, alas. Nomenclature. So we have discussed about the nomenclature. That book is the temperature point that in which papers burn. And the book is divided in three parts. The first part is the hearth and the salamander. It is associated with the fire. The salamander can live in a fire without getting burnt. So from that mythical concept, the first part is hearth and salamander. It is important, you have to keep in mind the parts of the books and the name and why it is called so, the hearth and the salamander. And the second part, the sieve and the sand, it refers to Montag's childhood memory when at the persuasion of a cruel cousin, he tries to fill a sieve with sand. Is it possible? It is not possible to fill a sieve with sand. Every time you fill, it just get out. So the sieve is a symbol of the mind that always tries to help the sand. We always try to hold something, but we fail. And the third part is burning bright. It is the third part. It is an allusion to myth of phoenix that burns to be reborn. Phoenix bears the hope of rebirth, and so in the third fecundity. So in the third part we find that hope. So that three part, first part the heart and the salamander, next part the sieve and the sand, and the third part burning bright. This in this three part the novel is divided. You must read in details. I am not talking much. The ray of hope is at the end. And we have talked about that ray of hope in the beginning, when the guys are addressing one another. He is Charles Darwin, he is Mark Twain, he is Gautam Buddha, and he is Mahatma Gandhi. Everyone is just the epitome of knowledge. So there is ray of hope. They are burning books, but they are keeping these books in their head and in their heart. So there is ray of hope. And major character Guy Montag, Mildred Montag, his wife Clarisse Mccaller, neighbor Captain Betty. Captain Betty is the boss who will send the mechanical hounds behind him. Faber, the college professor who helped him, mechanical hounds. These are some major characters you have to keep in mind. Other characters are not so important, but keep in mind these characters. Okay, you just read this novel in details, and you can read this summary in details also. It will help you. And okay. So with Ray Bradbury's 451 today's lesson we finish here, and I find it is very interesting.